Hello, my name is Kent C. Dodds, and I'm really excited to take you on a quick tour of how you can get started programming in 2026. This is going to be a bit of a whirlwind. We're going to go through things a little bit quick, and I'm going to just get you set up to a place where you can continue from where we left off. I've just released just today two free courses on the beginnings of programming, and you need absolutely zero experience in programming to get started with this. I've given you all the tools to set up your environment and get rolling. And then if you like those two workshops, there are 3 additional workshops that are for sale that you can purchase if you decide, yeah, this programming thing really is for me. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and switch to here. So the course that I'm talking about is called Practical TypeScript. You can find it at epicweb.dev/practical TypeScript. And there's a whole video on here I just recorded today explaining what this thing is all about, so you can take a look at that. The 2 workshops that we're going to be looking at is Programming Foundations and Structured Data. So with that, one other thing I want to mention is this is actually a live stream. I am live right now at the time of this recording. And so if you do have any questions or anything, the chat is available for you wherever you're watching this. And feel free to throw some chats in there. If you're watching this after the live stream, feel free to throw some comments below, right below that like button. And then I'm happy to answer any other questions that you have. So let's jump into this. First off, if you are completely new to programming, you don't have a learning environment or an editor to write code or anything like that, and you may not have all of the necessary tools installed on your computer, I have this article, Setting Up Your First Development Environment, that will walk you through all of the steps for what a terminal is and how to open it, how to install Git, how to create a GitHub account, how to install Node via a tool called Volta, how to install Cursor, this is my preferred code editor today, and what the Epic Shop app really is and how to use that, and troubleshooting. So we're going to go through some of these steps here. I'm on a MacBook MacBook Pro, so you can follow along if you're on a MacBook Pro. I have the instructions for Windows and Linux on here as well. So yeah, I just kind of want to show you visually what to do here, and then we'll get into the workshop thing, and we'll actually get into a workshop, and I'll show you how to get all set up with all of that too. This is also, I should mention, a little bit off the cuff. I'm not going to be doing some fancy editing or anything like this through this, so feel free to speed it up if I'm going a little bit slow, because this is real deal stuff here. Okay, sweet. So let's start with opening the terminal. Almost everything that you do is going to be in the terminal. On a Mac, you have Command Space, and you can type terminal. And for most of you, that might open up an app called Spotlight. The app you're seeing here is called Raycast. It's a Spotlight replacement. It does a lot more for you. But if you type just terminal, then it should have this application. You could also open up Mission Control and do terminal there. Windows, you need to install the Windows terminal, and you can get it from the Microsoft Store. On Linux, that is also built in. So there's the instructions. So in the terminal, this is what mine looks like. Yours might look a little bit different, but there are a couple of commands that you're going to need to know to run in these. pwd is one that's going to show you where you currently are in the terminal. You can run ls, and that's going to show you what is in the directory where you currently are. cd is going to allow you to change directory to a folder name. So I've got a folder called code right here, so I can cd code, and now I'm in the code directory. I can run ls again, and now I can see all the things that are inside of this directory, and I could cd into those. If I want to go back, then I can cd and then ... That takes me back up one directory, and I'm back in my home directory. And if I cd with this little tilde character, that takes me directly to my home directory. Okay, that gives you like some navigation. We're going to be doing a lot more commands in here as well. Whoops, there we go. And so we're going to keep that terminal open. Now, continuing on, you need to have Git installed. This is how you get source code from what we call a repository. Get that source code down onto your machine so you can mess around with it, and you can even make changes to it and push those changes back up to that repository, that central location where other people can contribute to it. You're not necessarily going to be contributing to anything in this workshop experience, so really the goal here in using Git is really just to pull things down. But the reason that I have you do this is because this is the industry standard for working with code. So I've thought about making like a full-on app experience that you install this app and now you can have all of these buttons and stuff to make all of this stuff easy. Maybe it uses Git under the hood or whatever. But the point is for you to become a software developer, and software developers use these tools. And so until that changes, we're going to have you use and install these tools as well. So I'm going to open up the terminal here again, and I'm going to run this command, git -- version. And that is going to give us this output. Now, I have a special version of Git. I'm using a CLI called Hub, but you should be looking for a version that says like 2.47.1 is what mine says. So if you see something like that, then that means that you've got it right. If you see something that doesn't say that, like if I were to say Gits with a typo or something, I'm running a command that's not found. So you'll see something like this. So that would mean that you don't yet have Git installed and you need to install it. And there are instructions for doing that for Mac OS and Windows and Linux. So go ahead and get that installed. If you don't have it already, you can pause the video, go do that, and come back. Okay, great. So assuming you got that set up, you can also set some configuration. I recommend that you do this. Set your name and your email. If I do git config global user.name, that shows what I have configured already, and user.email. There's the user email that I have configured as well. So however you want to, whatever values you want to set in there, that is going to be helpful for your GitHub account and anything you push up to GitHub. It's a pretty typical thing that you want to do when you're configuring Git for the first time. Okay, great. So then you're going to go to github.com. I'm going to open this up in a new private window so we see what you might see if you're signing up for the first time. It looks a little bit like this. You're going to want to sign up and follow their sign up flow in here to set up your account on GitHub. It should be pretty straightforward, and once you have that all handled and everything, then you should see something that looks more like this. So this is my feed and everything like this. They change this occasionally, but if you are seeing something like this, you're logged in to GitHub, then you're good. You don't have to do really much else in here. You will come over to GitHub occasionally for the different workshops and things like that because they're all hosted on GitHub, and it's helpful to have a GitHub account to do that. And in fact, you can connect your GitHub account with epicweb.dev and sign in with GitHub if you'd like to do that. Okay, great. As long as we're talking about accounts, another thing that you might want to do in the workshop series is chat with other learners, and you can do that on Discord, discord.com. And so here you can set up an account over here, and through the process of setting up the workshop app and everything, you can connect your Discord account to Epic Web, and it will give you access to the exclusive channels on the Epic Web Discord and allow you to chat with other people who are going through the same workshops that you are. Okay, great. So now we're going to install Node via Volta. And so first I'm going to run node -- version. And there's my version. I'm currently running 24.4.1. This is actually, I should have mentioned this earlier, but this is called SemVer, or semantic versioning. The very last number, that's a patch number. That number goes up regularly, and that just means that we're making changes that are bug fixes. So from one version to the next, as that number increases, those are bug fixes that are happening. This next version is a minor version, so these are not just bug fixes, but improvements, so new features and things like that. And then this first number right here, the most important, this means we bump this number anytime there are some breaking changes. And for Node in particular, when this number is even, that means that's a stable release and things are very much not likely to break. And if it's an odd number, then that's the active development version of Node. And that is still technically stable, but things are being actively developed. It's safer for you to stay on even numbered versions. So when you install Volta and get your Node version set up and everything, I recommend that you do the long-term release version of Node. So for us right now, that's 24. It's going to be the even number version. You can definitely use the workshops with 25 or an odd numbered version, but I just recommend the even numbered versions. Okay, great. As of the time of this live stream, version 24 is what's required for you to get through these workshops. And here's how you install Volta if you don't already have Node installed. Volta is a special package or a special command line interface which is something that you use the terminal for, which will allow you to control which version of Node that you're currently running. You can run Volta version. You can also run in any of these CLIs. Most of them will support a help flag. So if we say node -- help, then we're going to get a whole bunch of documentation on how to use this command line interface, which can be quite helpful. So when you get Volta, you can run -- help to try and understand what's going on. And of course, at any time, if you get stuck or confused or whatever, you can just pull up Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever and ask questions. Say, hey, I'm trying to get my environment set up for this workshop. What do I need to do? Here's where I'm stuck or whatever. Here's the error that I'm seeing, and it will help you. Okay, great. So once you have that installed, you will actually get two things that you can run. One is Node, so that's Node version, as we saw before. The other is NPM, so there should be an NPM version as well. You'll need something that's version, I think, 8 or higher, which Node comes installed with version 10 or higher or something like that. So should be totally fine there. There's actually another CLI that you'll be using called NPX, which is also installed with Node, and you can say version here, and it comes right along with NPM. Okay, great. Now we're going to install our code editor. So I prefer Cursor. If we look at cursor.com, then here's my agents. Yep, I've got agents working right now, but we're going to go back over to the homepage. And this is cursor.com. You can download it for whatever system you're on. You want to set up an account, you can use your GitHub account to connect with that. And this will actually allow you to use an AI agent to help you in the development of whatever you are building, and even help you through the workshops. And we actually have some specific tools in the workshop app that integrates nicely with a coding assistant like Cursor. You can, of course, also use VS Code. That's a really popular one developed by Microsoft and GitHub. There are a myriad of other editors. If you already have an editor that you prefer, the whole point of the workshop app is that you don't have to use any bespoke editor or development environment or whatever. The point of the workshop app is to make it so that you practice the way that you'll actually develop. So however you develop software, you go ahead and do it that way. But if you don't have an opinion, Cursor is a really great one. So go ahead and follow the instructions for downloading that. You will also want to install the Cursor shell command. So here, let me open up Cursor. And if you do Command-Shift-P on a Mac, I think it's Control-Shift-P on a Windows, then it brings up what's called the command palette. And this allows you to execute a whole bunch of commands. And one of them is to install shell commands. What that means is it is basically installing another command that you can run in the terminal. That's really useful for a couple of the features of the workshop app that will automatically open your editor in the file that you're working on for the workshop app. So Command-Shift-P and then type in shell and install the Cursor command is what you're looking for there. Okay, great. And once you have that done, then you can actually go here. We can say Cursor version. And there we go. We got a nice Cursor version. So we have that installed. That just verifies that we've got it installed. Whew, okay, great. So now we've got Epic Shop. This is a CLI, a command line interface that manages the Epic Workshop experience. It downloads the workshops, sets up the workshop app. It gives you mechanisms for navigating across different workshops and managing your progress through all the workshops, etc. So here, I've already got mine set up, but you can run npx-yes. This will just prevent it from asking you, are you sure? And then Epic Shop at the latest version, and we want to run the init command. So I will copy that. I can't remember what happens. Since I already have it all set up, I can't remember what happens if I run this, but let's run it and we'll just see. So first it's installing Epic Shop to your computer to run it like right from the get-go. So you don't have to actually install it. It installs it and runs it all at once. Okay, so here it's, for you, it's actually going to ask you, where do you want to save your workshops? And like, what editor do you want to use? A couple of things like that. Do you want to log in? Those sorts of things. And once you finish all of that, then it's going to ask you about starting the tutorial. And it will actually install the tutorial for you and everything like that. So here, what it's running now is Epic Shop open Epic Shop tutorial. If I hit enter, then it's going to open up my editor cursor in the Epic Shop tutorial directory where that's saved. And so for me, that's in my code directory, Epic Web Workshops, Epic Shop tutorial. That's where I chose to save my things. For you, you're just going to follow the instructions from that are output here. Here it says, okay, let's get it started. So I hit enter and it starts up the workshop tutorial. We see we got some supported keys. So if I hit the O key right here, you won't see this. You're going to get the latest version. I've got an old version. I'll show you what to do with that later. But if I hit the O key, that's going to open up the workshop app. That opens in the browser for me at localhost 5639. And you T9 kids might be able to figure out what that is. All right, so with that, now you're in the Epic Workshop app tutorial. This is going to teach you how to use the Workshop app. You watch the videos, go through all of this stuff, hit mark as complete, and continue through all of these exercises. I'm not going to repeat everything that I say in these videos. You just follow along with these videos. It'll probably take you about a half an hour or more, depending on how familiar you are with things. And how quickly you are able to navigate around the computer and stuff. But this is going to help you get onboarded to that actual experience of using the Workshop application. It's pretty cool. Definitely give that a whirl. Here, sometimes you will also see, hey, there are updates to the Workshop. And so I'm going to hit the U key to update the Workshop. Since I'm here, may as well. And that's going to just restart the Workshop app after it updates. Okay, great. So from there, you're pretty much done with getting things set up. So if you don't have anything set up yet, hopefully that gave you a good thing to go through. We got some troubleshooting things that you can go through here too if you find yourself in a bind. But as long as you have a Git version that is 2.18 or higher, a Node version that's version 24 or higher, an NPM version that's 8 or higher, and a cursor version or some other editor that you prefer. And I recommend in general that if you do have another editor, that you at least have a mechanism for running that editor in the terminal or opening that editor in the terminal via the terminal, because that is how some of the features of the Workshop app works to open up your editor in a specific with a specific file. And then at the very bottom here, we have this command Epic Shop add. That's what we're going to do here next. So I'm going to hit Q to quit that one. And we're going to run npx yes Epic Shop at latest add. And this is going to look on the repository of all the workshops that are available in the Epic universe and give you options to download these. So for us, like you could go through all of these and you'll find I've got check marks because I've got all these things downloaded. But I have Programming Foundations I don't have downloaded here. So I'm going to type in Programming Foundations. That's our first one. Or we can come over to Free Tutorials. You'll find Programming Foundations is right here. And there's the workshop and app code here. And you can click on that and that will take you to the GitHub repo. The other thing is I would recommend that you actually are signed in, because you can actually start right here, continue learning. You can watch the first video right here, and it will then invite you to, as you're working through the exercises, once you get here, it's going to invite you to actually download what we just did. And so if you don't already have this done, if you just go through those first videos, eventually you'll hit this page, and you'll want to just open up get started with this module. So that will actually take you to this page to get started with Programming Foundations workshop, and it's listing all the other ones I have access to here as well. You can read through all of this stuff if you want to, but really all that you need to do is run the Epic Shop add command here, and then type in Programming Foundations. And what this is going to do is it's going to clone your, or clone that project using Git. It will clone that project to the directory inside of where you configured you want your workshops to be. And it's going to run a setup script to get everything all set up for you for the first time. And then we can go into that directory. So it was cloned into this directory, so I can copy that. And actually here, let's open that directory. So some of you might be more familiar with the Finder or some file explorer. So here is where I told the Epic Shop CLI to save all of my workshops is inside of my code directory in Epic Web Workshops. And now here we have our Programming Foundations workshop. And so if I cd into that directory, now I can open up my editor in there. Or I could actually say, Epic Shop open. Here, let me go back. If I cd to my home directory, there we go. You can actually run npx Epic Shop open. And yes, let's see, that's why we have the yes flag, so that I don't have to do that part. But once it's finished, it's having to download and then run. But yeah, now I can say Programming Foundations. Great, I hit that, and it will actually open up in my editor as well. So however you want to do that, you can open your editor and then select the file, or you can run it in the terminal, however you want. It's just useful for you to know where all of your workshops are saved to on disk, and then open up your editor in that spot. Okay, let me close a couple things that are just distractions. There we go. Now, inside of your editor, you actually probably have an integrated terminal. This is what I use. And so if you run Command-Shift-P and then type terminal, then you can, generate in terminal. No, that's not what we want. We want to open the terminal. Where is that? Open or create new terminal. There we go. You could do create new terminal. And that will open up a terminal window here. You also have terminal up here as well, as an option. However you open that integrated terminal, or you can just use your own terminal there to run commands. But in Cursor, this is exactly the same. I also have a hotkey, Command J as my hotkey for toggling open and closed this persistent terminal that's sitting over here. Okay, so with this, however you get that terminal, you can run npm start, and that will start up the workshop app in this directory. So then I can hit O, and now this should be familiar if you went through the tutorial. You can go through Programming Foundations, get started with this. You watch this first video, and we also have a theme song, which is kind of fun. But read through all of this stuff. And then continue on. You mark as complete and then go into that first exercise. And this first exercise will have its own video to introduce the concept. You'll go through, read through all of this stuff to hopefully follow along with that. If some things are not entirely, don't entirely make sense, just continue on with the process, trust the process. And as you work through things yourself, it will become much more clear. And that's what we do in this first spot here. So we're on exercise 1. We hit start learning. You watch the video. You follow along with the instructions. You hit your files right here. That opens up your editor right in the file that you need to work on. And you can say, okay, console.log hello world. And you'll notice I'm actually there's some ghost text. I'm not typing that fast. This is one of the things that Cursor does, and in general, AI editors do, is they make it so that you can just move way, way faster, and will kind of predict what you're going to type. And I recommend that you definitely learn to use that because that's how we develop software now. And in fact, even more than that, you could open up the AI chat in whatever editor you have. Most editors now have an AI chat feature. And you could say, please explain what's going on in that file. And there we go. Now the AI can explain what's going on. And or you could say, please finish the exercise for me and cheat yourself. But what's better is just tell me what's going on, help me understand this, quiz me on this, whatever. And in fact, as you go through this, once you get to the last step, so like you continue through next, okay, this is us or me explaining how I did it. You mark as complete to go on to the next and continue until you get to the very last bit here, which is an opportunity for you to write down what you learned and everything. But I wanted to show you this because there is a section in here to test your knowledge. You click on this and you make a new agent. You paste that in to your AI chat, and it can actually quiz you on this particular exercise. And it asks you questions one at a time to be able to, for you to be able to understand exactly whether you really get what happened in this workshop exercise. So once it finishes doing its stuff, okay, now what is an expression? And you can answer the question, go back and forth. You could say, I don't know. Explain, please, and it can then explain it to you. So we use agents a lot in software development these days, and using it to help you learn, I highly recommend. To be able to do this, you have to set up what's called an MCP server. There's a link right there to show you how to get that set up. So with all of this, once you're all done, you'll have a pretty good starting point for getting into programming in 2026. And I will mention also that in addition to the exercises, hands on the keyboard experience that you're going to have, we also have these extras that give you some examples of example applications that you can use to practice everything that you're doing. So some of them, or one of them here resembles the exercises, very simple, just a single file script thing. But this one, the dashboard, is actually a full-on application that you then can go into and make changes to practice the skills that you learned in the course of the workshop. So there you go. You'll have plenty of practice to work through all of this stuff. I think that's pretty much everything you need. One other thing I didn't really mention that you should have gotten if you got this far with the tutorial and stuff, but you do want to log in to the workshop app. That will there will be a big banner at the top and everything that will tell you you want to do that. But make sure you do that so that you can follow, get your progress and everything. And in fact, there's this feature where it'll continue to the next lesson. And actually, if I mark a couple of these as complete, once I get a couple more of these, there we go. Now, I've got a couple of these complete. Once you get a couple of them complete, this button shows up that allows you to practice a past lesson. You click on that and it will take you to a random lesson that you've already completed to help you with that repetition. It's a pretty cool feature. And so, yeah, definitely check that out. And of course, we have shortcut keys in here as well. You hit the question mark and it will pop this open. And we even have a command palette in the app here as well. So Command-Shift-P or Control-Shift-P, and you can go to a particular exercise. Let's go to exercise 4.2. There we go. And we'll go to the problem and boom, here we are. So there's some power user things in here too, if you fancy yourself a power user. So definitely go through that tutorial for the workshop app and then get started on the programming fundamentals. Once you finish with that one, then you can actually go back here to the free tutorials, and the structured data is also a free tutorial that you can go through. And if you go to the repo, it's going to have instructions on getting things set up. We can just copy that, open up the terminal again, and add our structured data workshop in here. It's the exact same thing. It's going to clone the repository, install all the dependencies and everything, and then you'll have that workshop ready for you to start running. And it's great. So that is your start on getting into learning how to develop software in 2026. So if you are totally new to all of this stuff, I'm thrilled for you. Honestly, I think it's a really cool, here, let me go to the Yeah, it's a really cool time to be developing software. Lots of awesome things that our AI agents can help us do. And if you want to be a more efficient user of AI, then I recommend that you take the time to learn how to use the tools that the AI is using. It'll make you much more effective at using AI. With that, I hope you have a really good time with these workshops, and we'll see you in the workshops. Take care, everybody. All right, that was kind of it's kind of funny because I end my videos like that, but I'm actually live streaming. So let me find the outro. Here we go. Yeah, where is it? Yeah, there it is. Okay, goodbye, everybody.